Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my review of this week's episode of The 100 on the CW. This week we've seen Season 4, Episode 12, which is called The Chosen. Excuse me. And I want to apologize for the lateness of this week's review once again. My work schedule, it changes almost every week, so unfortunately it's another week where I'm backed up on most of my TV shows, not just The 100, but also Supernatural. We'll be reviewing the 2-hour Season 12 finale of Supernatural either late tomorrow night or at some point on Saturday. But I did just watch this penultimate episode of The 100 Season 4, and I gotta say, I liked it quite a bit. This episode and last week's episode, I think, are some of the strongest we've gotten of the season so far. I might have preferred last week's episode just by a bit, but I consider both of these episodes kind of within like the top 10 or so of the series, I think, in a way. They both have qualities that kind of make a case for it, I think. But I really think it's also just a case of this general story direction they're heading in, which I think is just really intense, really engaging, really interesting. So the finale and potentially Season 5. Season 5 is happening, by the way, but I'm just saying, like, depending on what they do with it. And potentially Season 5. It could just, it could have a bunch more of these episodes that just keep getting better and better, so I'm really looking forward to where the 100's going. I always have been looking forward to where it's going long term, but it's just, again, solidifying it for me. It's after 2 a.m. right now, so this review is probably not going to be the best, and I'm probably going to have to be a little bit short on it. But yeah, like I said, I like this episode, from the lottery they had, to when they're trying to pick who was going to be in the bunker and who wasn't. To Clarke and the others going off to find Raven. Echo's appearance, which I really liked. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes, though. I just thought it was very good. And it's still kind of funny, to see Marcus being the more reasonable or sort of like humanity-based guy compared to, like Jaha now. Compared to, like, how their characters were in Season 1. But I think both of their points and both their perspectives, they had a lot of, understandable, I already said this, but understandable points to it. I thought that was, that was pretty good. Again, I do kind of agree with people, like, why are there those that are still listening to Jaha after all the ridicule he got over the years? I don't know. I guess it's just because he's still like a pretty charismatic type of guy and speaker and everything. And with the whole lottery thing going down, lottery's kind of a bit cliche and ridiculous. But at the same time, just with the way people are talking and they weren't really accepting like essential personnel, or they weren't really accepting, so-and-so over them, despite it being like an even amount, from each group. So the lottery, it seems a bit ridiculous, but I think it was actually a semi-reasonable thing that Kane decided on there. It's a random chance for everyone now, right? So, though of course people still had a problem with that. Jaha was trying to rally some people up. Just to, fight, and, again, it's after 2 a.m., so I'm not really thinking the best right now. But I thought that whole angle was pretty intense. He was even going to gas, Octavia and the rest of the grounders, in order to, get out who they wanted to have room for, those they care about most. Excuse me. And Octavia was fine in this episode as well. I always kind of have a problem with Octavia, though. I've talked about that plenty of times, but these past couple episodes, she's actually been, written fairly well, I think. Although I still don't buy that she's as skilled as she is, fighting and everything, and, just her tactics. I don't buy that she would, be this good at it yet. I do like that, they do say, in the story, part of her dialogue is saying, I'm no champion, I hid, at least they acknowledge that. But, then of course they make the point that now, lab leaders, they had help, so that was fine as well. And of course, Clarke is, carrying an immense amount of weight on her shoulders, when isn't she? But, especially now, because she just feels the guilt of what everyone's going against her for. And again, it did seem quite cold of Clarke, but again, it was just another, really cold and desperate ploy, just to protect those very, very closest to her that she loved the most. So I don't really blame her, and really people, anyone would struggle with that, I think. So I still don't think Clarke's, really unrelatable or anything. She's still very relatable to me, I think. The conversations between her and Bellamy here are pretty good. Bellamy, talking about, of course, her holding him at gunpoint and everything. But then they sort of, share a smile, and Bellamy says, she was smarter, good not to pull the trigger. So that was pretty good. One of my favorite parts of the episode, though, is Echo's appearance. I was happy to see her. You guys know I actually do like her quite a bit. She's within my top 6 favorite characters on the show already. I like Tessia Talis. And I was saying, I hope they give Echo more to do, and it looks like they actually are. I hope they don't just kill her off, and it looks like, they're at least going to develop her a bit more before that happens, hopefully. Excuse me. But, when they're attacked by, those outside, when they go out to go after Raven, we see that Echo is still surviving, and she's been exposed to a certain extent to the radiation, but luckily, of course, the death wave is still yet to hit. So she's still, somewhat savable, or, we'll see what actually happens with her in the long run. But she saves them, she shoots down quite a few of those people caught out there, with arrows, and she, of course, kills a couple with a sword, which is pretty cool. So I like that quite a bit. I like that they actually, gave her a suit and, sort of, appreciate her saving their, their lives. So, she has a chance to, get in with them on it too. Except their plan now is to go to space with Raven and use the Ark to survive off of, so there can be a little more space with the bunker and everything. Which I think is a pretty interesting idea, to bring it back, to the Ark, in the story and everything. It'll be a nice, interesting sort of parallel, just to have, the kids, go back up to the Ark, just completely transformed from where they started in the series. It'll be kind of eerie in a way too, I think. I hope we see a little bit of that. I also like the brief direct interaction we got between Echo and Clarke. Just with Echo saying she was trying to save her people. She seems really kind of broken and sort of hollow over, the things she's done, how it all went and everything. Pretty good acting from Tessia Talis, and I just think her talking to Clarke about it, just briefly like that, it sort of showed the parallels between those two characters, just showing, their motivations and everything. I thought was a, pretty good angle there. Of course, we have some scenes, of course, Miller's dad, wanting him to, secure a spot, for him with Kane and everything. So there's some touching bits like that. And of course, there's this father who he never met before, gets pretty out of control, tries to get a rise, just like Jaha was. But luckily, Kane is able to, help Jaha see what they're trying to do there. So, it kind of worked out, but they end up using the gas, just trying to get out who they can. Keeping, those who they know would mean the most and everything like that. So, it is what it is, really. But yeah, overall, this is another pretty good episode of The 100, definitely building itself pretty high here for me. Like I said, I don't know if I liked it quite as much as last week's episode, but it's right around the same level, right around the same playing field. Rated last week's episode pretty high. I think gave it like a 9.4, 9.5. I'd probably put it like a 9.2, 9.3 right now, honestly, but still really good. And I'd give this one about an 8.9 out of 10, maybe 9 out of 10 or so, 8.8 at lowest. I'm kind of giving quite a bit of a range here, but again, after 2 a.m., so maybe I don't really know what I'm saying either, but still, overall, either way, really like this episode. Can't wait for the finale next week. Should be really interesting, pretty intense, so yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this quick video. Got a slew of videos on the way. not only my review of the 2-hour Supernatural finale within the next couple days, but also, the originals. That review will probably be late too. Also have to review Stakeland 2, and also want to do some reaction videos. Not reaction videos, but just the reviews and some trailers that have come out recently for shows like Valor on the CW. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about The Alienist on TNT, with Luke Evans. I'm pretty eager to talk about that, so look forward to all that. Voice crack. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, subscribe, and peace. Also, good anything without Clarke, giving over her helmet to Amori, to help out Murphy. Nice moment there. Glad Echo is staying with him and she didn't get stripped of hers. But yeah, peace.